Welcome to the Better Together podcast, where we look at ways we can more effectively serve one another and minister. Today we have Dr. Danny Baer with us. He's the College Dean of Southeastern Free Will Baptist Bible College. Dr. Baer, it's so good to have you here with us today, my friend.
It's great to be on the broadcast and good to see you. I'm glad we're all surviving this pandemic, aren't we?
Yes, I see your Cuba stuff in the background, good material there, good folks, and it's so good to have you here with us today. Now, I did not mention that one of the things you do is you're the chair of our Committee for Denominational Research. So how many studies have you all done to this point?
Well, we started this at the National Association in 2018. Dr. Tim York appointed our committee, and we were able to get some funding from the Free Will Baptist Foundation, and that's been a big help to us. And we did a survey that year to our pastors and reported about that last year at the National Association. Found out a number of things about our pastors in that survey, like we're all getting old, and which is obvious, but it's a little disturbing about the average age and things of this nature. But we did that one. And then this past year, we did a survey that was sent out. Again, pastors basically filled it out, but the information was about our churches. And we are actually right now in the process of getting that finalized and processed. I will be presenting a seminar for our virtual National Association in July, and there'll be a report about that. And the information will be put on our website. You can always see what we are doing at our National Association's website /research. And so we have done those two that were kind of extensive, and we're very happy to provide this material for our denomination.
That's good. And so folks can go there. They can look at it live that morning at the National, that Monday morning, or go back and look at it any time. And you're getting ready to do another survey now. Tell us a bit about this third survey and who all it involves and what it entails.
Right. Now, this one will be a little different. Before, we were reaching out primarily to pastors to find out about the pastors and about our churches. In this survey, it's really targeted to our local associations. I'm the moderator of our Randall Association here in North Carolina, and I also have served with Dr. Moody on our Board of Ministerial Standing, is what we call it, where we have a group of men who are elected by our association who mainly are involved in interviewing and vetting, I guess you could say, candidates for ordination. Now, different associations do this in very different ways. The association I was in Southern Ohio, everyone ordained in that association went through our ordination council, council of presbytery, and different ways they call it. But basically, it's an ordination council, and we all went through that, even in licensure. And I think some may even do it with deacons. But we are primarily focusing in on the ordination for pastors, preachers, and what their process is. What are we doing across the denomination? And this is primarily so we can kind of understand what each other are doing and learn from each other in that process.
One of the things I remember when we served together, we did wonder were other people doing? What are better ways to do things? And I think you have on the survey where people, if they ask questions of their candidates, they could send those in to us, and it would be a way for other associations to see what each other is doing, and like you say, we could learn from each other at this time when it's so important when we think about ordaining people, ordaining men to go into the ministry.
Right. And we have improved a lot in this series over the years. Again, back to my association back in Southern Ohio, the Pine Creek Association back in those days, still there now. We had an extensive list of questions that I had to answer before I went for the council, but that had just started then. And I know for a lot of years, many associations didn't use any questions. I have a really good friend who was ordained probably 10 years before I was. And he met with some guys back behind the building, and they asked him if he smoked. And, a couple of questions, just it wasn't really very extensive. But now some of our associations and our churches, and that's where the ordaining power really finally rests. Many of them are doing much more extensive kinds of just examining men to find out if they are clear on their doctrinal beliefs, if they are clear, if it's certain that they are have a reputation. Some are even doing things like credit checks, background checks, criminal background checks. That's kind of important in our day. And we're just wondering what is happening and what different organizations are doing. And we hope that once we get this together and reported back to the denomination, that many associations will be able to take some of the ideas and improve on what they're doing.
That's great. So this will probably come out next month. People will be able to go online. We're asking people within the association. So it's different. It's not asking all pastors. It'll probably be a smaller sample size, but to complete it. But you mentioned earlier the research from the previous studies is there at NAFWB / the Committee for Denominational Research. This will be there as well. And I think this is going to be really helpful to our folks, Dr. Baer. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about this happening, and then us getting the results and being able to look at it and see what we can do, see what people are engaged in.
One of the important items right now is that this has got to be a pretty quick turnaround. We do hope that we can get as many representatives from as many associations as possible to go in and fill out this survey. There's only about 20 questions, 21. It won't take that long to do. And we are giving you until, I believe it's July 1st. Isn't that what we decided upon to finish this? That means that we will quickly turn around the analysis of it and develop an executive summary. And you can expect this to be on our website, our webpage there at the National Association website, let's say by the time of the National Association. Mm-hmm. So when I report to it, I'll be doing some preliminary things. I won't be able to do much of that in my seminar, which I have to record pretty soon. But we will have the results of that survey available, Lord willing, at the time of the National.
That's great. So if you're a moderator of a particular association, we're really depending upon you to get this to someone on your ordination council. You're a pastor, just, hey, check in with people on the ordination council, make sure that someone completes the survey. And like Dr. Baer said, it's easy. It's online. We'll take a couple of minutes, but we do believe it helps us all to know what each other is doing, and it'll help us to improve and to enhance what we're doing. Well, thank you, my friend.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Baer, for the good work you're doing there at Southeastern, and thank you for helping, just taking the mantle, if you will, about research in our denomination. We look forward to your seminar coming up in a couple of weeks, and just keep at it, my friend.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eddie, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today, and we'll all be praying for each other during these trying times.
Excellent. Thank you.